All right, joining us now on Hot Copy, we have with us Manila Mayor Hani Lacuna. Mayor Lacuna, good morning to you.
Good morning, Karen. Hi.
All right, first, I want to wish you a good morning. And we were talking off air that you are recovering from an illness, right?
Yeah, coughing for about a week now, but this is the last day of my antibiotics, so I'm okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for taking our invitation on Head Start. So the race in Manila. Well, a lot's been said about this, but let me ask on Head Start again. What's it like now that you are running against former Manila Mayor Isko Moreno? You were close like siblings. He calls you ate. In a press conference, you said you felt betrayed.
Yes. Nakakalungkot, Karen. Sa totoo lang, I feel betrayed because in so many instances, he has already said na hindi maglalaban ang mga magkakapatid. Hindi sinabi niya yon even during the wake of my father. In a lot of instances, even in party gatherings in front of barangay officials, it's all in social media. So I feel betrayed kasi bigla siyang tumakbo. And one more thing, when he left office, when he did not win the presidency, in fact, talked to us, Vice Mayor Yul and myself, na sinabi niya, pinagbili niya na, Yul, sabi niya ganon. Patapusin mo si ate ha, sabi niya ganon. Tapos, ikaw naman. And then he said, ako, sa gedli-gedli na lang. Magtuturo ako siguro, retired na ako. And then he asked me if I could retain most of his department heads para daw kasi may continuation ng mga programs. And of course, bilang ate, and naniniwala naman ako sa kanya because I've worked with him for the longest time, he had good intentions and he was concerned sa Manila. Pero unfortunately, during the past months, hindi nangyari yata yun. In fact, I was already calling the attention of some of these department heads regarding yung work ethics nila because there have been a lot of complaints. Halimbawa po, sa traffic, yung pangungotong and everything, sa basura, lahat po yan, yung mga department heads, were department heads na pinagbili niya po sa akin that I should retain. So, doon po talaga na feeling ko na betray po ako. Akala ko it is out of concern, yun pala hindi. Akala ko totoo yung mga binibitawan niyang salita, yun pala hindi.
So what do you mean? Are you saying that former Manila Mayor Isko Moreno asked you to retain his department heads for them, kumbaga ipagpatuloy nila, halimbawa ang pangungotong, etc. And are you saying that they give him a cut or they give him binibigay sa kanya ang kita?
Hindi po, ma'am. Ang sinasabi ko po is, sabi niya sa akin para ho daw maayos pa rin kasi nakaplastado na po lahat, maayos naman daw po ang pamamalakad niya, ay i-retain ko po itong mga taong ito. Kaya lang po over the months, napansin ko po na napapadalas po ata yung mga complaint regarding po sa pangungotong, halimbawa po sa traffic, yung mga enforcer po, na ako yung nasisisi. And there were a lot of instances na tinawag ko po yung attention ng head nila and he kept on explaining na tinatanggal daw nila, one strike policy. At saka napansin ko po, every time na meron po kaming department head meeting po every first Mondays of every month, ang pumapasok po sa city na funds coming from their department ay hindi po sapat. The last time I called their attention was it was already mid-year. Okay? ang napapasok pa lang po nila sa coffers ng city ay nasa 27%. So
Mm.
nagtataka po ko sa dami-dami po ng mga parking areas po sa City of Manila. Bakit ganito lang po pumapasok? Saan po pumupunta yung pera na dapat po nakokolekta for the city?
So saan po? Anong natuklasan po ninyo? Unang-una, mga tao to ni Isko. Number two, what did you do? Did you fire them?
Actually, siguro napansin na po nila na nagiging makulit na po ako sa pagtatanong ko. The head of MTPB resigned without
Okay.
explaining. Opo.
Oo. So, number three, are you insinuating or do you have personal knowledge that in any way this kind of corruption was going on during Isko's time as mayor?
Hindi ko masasabi yan, Miss Karen. You should remember po, during the time of Mayor Isko, pandemic po yan eh. Tahimik pong lahat, wala naman pong tao sa mga kalye natin. So, yun na nga po ang nakakalungkot kasi they keep on comparing yun pong time ni Mayor Isko sa time ko when everybody else is already doing their usual thing. Nasa labas na po lahat ng tao. So, yung pre-pandemic na situation natin, bumabalik na po ngayon during my time. Nung time naman po nung former mayor, lahat po tahimik, walang lumalabas. Wala hong tao sa labas, walang traffic, wala kahit ano.
But then I wanted to ask you this, right? So I'll ask you the personal relationship questions later. Okta Research did a survey from July 8 to July 10. Well, this is a 2-day survey roughly, but it says here that if the elections were held that day, Isko Moreno leads by 78 points. That is a massive lead over yourself in the race for Manila mayor. So if the elections were held, he would be a landslide win and you would only get 8% yourself. First, what is your reaction with this survey?
Well, I'm not surprised, Karen. Isko is already a national figure. He has run for a national position for already 2 times. First, as a senatorial seat, for a senatorial seat, and then most recently sa presidency. So hindi ho katakataka na kung popularity ang pong pag-uusapan natin, ay talaga hong angat si former mayor sa akin. But it doesn't mean na wala ho silang tiwala sa administration ko. In fact, mataas po ang rating ko sa good governance. It is very unfortunate, Karen, that meron kaming kakulangan sa social media na alam naman po natin ngayon na platform. Hindi namin na-advertise ng talagang sagaran yung mga ginagawa po namin para sa city. Doon po talaga lacking po kami. Because we do it the old-fashioned way. In fact, every week po bumababa kami sa mga barangay. And we do this Kalinga sa Maynila program na we talk to the people and we bring all the services of City Hall sa mga barangay. So, siguro dun po kami, unfortunately, dun po kami kulang. It's lacking of advertising what we do for the city na alam naman po natin, napakagaling po ng former mayor dyan.
Okay, but then let's be objective. When Isko Moreno actually won, he actually beat a former president too. I mean, he beat the Estradas. He beat Erap Estrada. So when he won, there was a dramatic change in Manila visually, right?
Yes.
So from Manila that was very dirty, suddenly here was Manila. It seemed very clean. It seemed very safe. You had 3 years. What is your biggest achievement in the 3 years? What was the problem? What did Isko do something? You talked about it one time. He left you with a lot of loans. You said that.
Correct.
What was difficult on your end?
Very difficult on my end yung bayaran yung mga loans na yon. It's very difficult on my end. It started yung amin pong payment during my time, November of 2022. Napakalaki po talaga ng loan namin.
But did he inherit those loans from Estrada?
No, no. These are loans during his time. 15 billion napunta po from Development Bank of the Philippines, napunta po sa a lot of infrastructure, 7 housing projects, and then 1 to 4 schools, if I'm not mistaken, Manila Zoo and Hospital ng Maynila, and then another 2.8 million para po sa mga instruments and medical equipments for Hospital ng Maynila. Don't get me wrong. These are all good projects and we are part of it. Okay. He just started it. I tried to finish it. Meron pa ho tayong 3 housing projects na hindi pa ho natatapos hanggang ngayon. And then a lot of repairs being done because of these previous projects. But then sa sobrang dami po niya, nabulunan na po ang city. And there is no actual proof of concept. Hanggang ngayon po, ako yung nagbabayad ng loan because of these infrastructure projects.
So is the city earning enough? Has the income of the city increased coming from these modernization projects?
These modernization projects po, walang return of investment. Okay, yung mga housing and everything, wala pa po kaming ROI dyan. Kasi nga po, napakadami po nila. And yung halimbawa po, magbibigay ako ng example. Yung housing project po, Condominium 1, Condominium 2, Binondominium, Baseco community. It was not explained properly doon po sa mga tumira doon on the payment scheme. Okay. So ngayon pong naniningil kami, hirap na hirap po kaming maningil sa kanila. So there is no return of investment. Okay. Of course, sa Hospital ng Maynila, hindi naman ho kami naniningil. So wala din pong return of investment doon. But we have to maintain everything. So dun po mabigat sa akin. So what we do now, since there are a lot of infrastructure projects, yun po kasi ang ano niya yun po yung quote-unquote na sinasabing achievement po niya. Yung mga infrastructure projects po, they're already in place. At napatuloy ko pa rin naman po itong mga infrastructure projects na to. So, nagko-concentrate po ako sa social amelioration projects namin. Yun po diretso sa tao kasi yun po yung hinahanap nila sa akin ngayon, not the infrastructure projects. Kasi kakaunti lang po talaga ang dito sa infrastructure projects na ito.
Okay, so the bigger issue now is in the 3 years that you've been in office, you've talked about going down to the barangays para sa proyektong Kalinga, no?
Yes.
So technically, ayuda po ito. How did you were you able to make the city grow in the 3 years? What would you consider as your biggest achievement for the city of Manila?
Ang biggest achievement ko po, Miss Karen, is para na maramdaman po ng tao na nandito po ang government sa kanila. Hindi po kami puro daldal lang. Yun po ang pinaka-greatest achievement ko. Maibaba ko po itong basic services na kailangan nila, diretso po sa kanila. Kasi yun po ang hinahanap nila eh. In fact, very much appreciated po ito ng mga kababayan natin na binabaan namin ng mga services na ito. Most of the time, they go to City Hall not knowing who to talk to. Hindi ko nila alam kung saan po silang tanggapan pupunta. So ang ginawa po namin, binaba na po namin to sa barangay level. At naging partner po namin yung barangay para maparamdam po sa ating mga constituents yung mga ginagawa po ng city.
But that's 3 years. I mean, is that that's the only achievement that, kasi anong ihaharap niyo po, anong sasabihin po ninyo sa mga botante ninyo sa pagbabalik ni Isko? When Isko sat as mayor, there was that dramatic visual change. Number one, right?
Yes.
Number two, he was a pandemic leader, so mahirap rin yon. But then kay Hani Lacuna, tama kayo, bumalik na sa pre-pandemic. Nagbaba kayo ng ayuda, pero how did you advance the city?
At tama po kayo doon. Unang-una, Miss Karen, may mga infrastructure projects din po tayo na ginagawa. Meron po tayong 3 paaralan na pinapatayo po ngayon. Yung sakto lang, tama lang po, 6-story schools po sila kasi yun lang naman po ang kailangan ng population ng mga students po dyan eh. We have a lot of super health centers din po na ginagawa ngayon. Meron po tayong Aurora Health Center, Tayabas Health Center, and all other health centers sa different districts po natin. Gaya nga po ng sabi ko, siguro ang kakulangan po namin, hindi po yun na project. In fact, sinisimula na rin po yung cancer specialty center natin sa Ospital ng Maynila with the help of Congressman Erwin Cheng. So basically, marami rin po tayong infrastructure na ginagawa. Inaayos po namin yung mga infrastructure na hindi po tama ang pagkakagawa. Yun po ang ginagawa namin sa City of Manila on top of the social amelioration program na pinapatupad namin.
Okay, the Manila Zoo, you have a viewer right now watching and saying, why Manila Zoo ang daming mas priority dyan? Manila Zoo was started during the time of former Manila Isko Moreno, and I believe that was a 3 billion peso project, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and what's happening with Manila Zoo now? Because money's been spent on it. I've been there. It's modern. But given the issues of Manila, what did you do with Manila Zoo?
Tama po. Ang Manila Zoo po ay continuously na nire-redevelop namin. Of course, lagi naman pong may issue dun po sa mga animals na binibigay po sa amin. Ngayon po talaga ang pinaka-biggest problem po namin ay yung mga animals po na maaari pa po namin sanang makuha na dinodonate sa amin. Kaya lang po, paunti-unti po namin itong ginagawa. So far, wala ho kami binibili. Okay? Mostly donation po yun ang ginagawa. And of course, napakalaki po ng maintenance ng Manila Zoo. Dahil nga po flora and fauna na nandun. You've been there. Opo.
I've been there. Oh, but is Manila Zoo earning? Is it contributing to the city?
Yes. It is contributing to the city. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Another question now will be, how do you intend to beat Isko Moreno?
By being true to the people of Manila. You know, unfortunately, napakarami po niyang binitawan na mga salita na hindi totoo.
Tulad ng hukuman.
Okay. Tulad na lang po ng sinasabi niya na kami daw po ay isang family corporation. Na lahat po ay siya daw po ang nag-appoint sa lahat ng mga kamag-anak ko sa City Hall. Unang-una, yung 2 ko pong kapatid ay elected. Elected po sila. Nanalo po sila. Yung isa kong kapatid who is heading the zoning ay appointee po ni President Erap pa. Hindi po nung panahon niya. Yung husband ko po ay organic po. Wala pa ho ako sa politika. Nandyan na po ang akin pong asawa at appointed po ni Mayor Lim. Magsimula na lang po tayo doon. Yun po. Pangalawa, yung mga binabanggit po niya na tinanggal namin na mga benepisyo ng mga senior citizens. Wala ho akong tinatanggal na benepisyo ng mga senior citizens. In fact, isinaayos po namin yung pagbibigay ng benefits ng senior citizens. Alam niyo po, Miss Karen, nung panahon po na siya ay nag-iisip na tatakbo siyang presidente, lahat po inakap niya. Maging hindi taga Maynila, inakap po niya yan. Okay? So, ang sa kanya po, nung panahon niya, ay kahit hindi na taga Maynila o hindi na hubotante ng Maynila, pinabibigyan pa rin po niya. Hindi naman po maaari yun ngayon. Dahil alam naman po, ako ho, nanay ako. Siyempre kung ano lang pong meron ako, yun pang babudgetin namin. At sa pakikipag-usap po natin sa atin pong mga senior citizen, ayaw po nila na yung benepisyo nila ay natatanggap din ng mga taong hindi na po pala taga Maynila. Yan po, lagi kong tinatanong sa lahat ng mga ugnayan namin. Ginagawa po niyang issue yan na hindi naman po issue yan.
Okay.
Those are just
Alright.
some.
Okay. Now, with the vice mayoralty race, you have Yul Servo, and I think he is running with Chi Atienza, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's now also the Atienza family, another force in Manila. They are, it's a comeback. It's an attempt for a comeback with Chi Atienza. What do you make of the vice mayoralty race?
Well, I know the strength of Vice Mayor Yul Servo. I'm not familiar with Chi Atienza. In fact, during the first few months, Chi Atienza was supposed to run as a councilor, just as a councilor of the 5th District of Manila.
Under you? Under you?
Yes, under me. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So I'm not privy with what arrangement the former mayor had with the family of the Atienzas. So I cannot really comment on that.
Okay.
She could have been a good counselor and a shoe-in
Okay. A shoe-in. She could have been a shoe-in and a good
as a
counselor.
counselor.
Okay. So let's move forward. Have you ever spoken with Manila Mayor, with former Manila Mayor Isko Moreno at any point? Kasi
Yeah.
ang sinasabi niya, nagpaalam daw siya sa iyo, di ba na, ate, babalik ako.
It's more of pinaalam. Hindi
At
po.
pinaalam, hindi kayo nag-usap.
Nag-usap po
Okay.
kami. The last time I spoke to him was July 16. We had a very short meeting at Manila Hotel.
Okay.
Can I make kwento? Okay lang
Go
ba?
ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. When we arrived, he told me to bring my husband. So I did. And then he said to me, ate, ayokong istorbohin kayo. Alam ko marami kayong ginagawa. So the first thing he told me was, ate, tatakbo ka ba? Yun ang sinabi niya sa akin. Sabi ko, opo, tatakbo ko. Siyempre ako yung incumbent eh. Di ba? And then ang sabi niya, ate, gusto ko lang malaman mo na tatakbo ako. And then I didn't say anything. I was just looking at him. And then he told me, ate, pag-isipan mo ng ilang beses. Give yourself some time. Give yourself a few days, a few weeks to think about it. Yun ang sinabi niya sa akin. Hindi pa rin ako nagsasalita. And then he told me, ate, tatlo pa lang kami nakakaalam nito. Ako, yung wife ko, and a very close friend.
Hindi yung husband mo. Ikaw, husband mo, and a close friend.
No, siya, yung wife niya,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
a common friend.
Okay.
Ng plan niya to run. At sa isip ko, Miss Karen, Diyos ko naman, ngayon na lang tayo huling mag-uusap, nagsisinungaling ka pa lang. It's all over social media. You can't even tell me straight. But I didn't tell him. Nakatahimik pa rin ako. Then he started saying a lot of things about my colleagues. Kung alam mo lang ate, et cetera, ganyan-ganyan. So hindi pa rin ako nagsasalita, Miss Karen. And then the last thing he said was, he reiterated, ate, pag-isipan mong mabuti. Sabi niya sa akin. Sabi ko, ganito na lang po. Sabi ko, para wala na tayong iniisip ang dalawa, tatakbo ako at hindi ako magbaback out. Kasi they were hoping na magsa-slide down ako as vice mayor. I would run. Sabi kong gano'n, para wala nang burden sa ating dalawa, tatakbo ako. Sabi kong gano'n, as mayor.
So I wanted to ask you, just that moment,
Yes.
why didn't you just slide down? I understand you're the incumbent. Isko coming to you and saying he was gonna run, clearly nagpa-survey yon. Di naman pupunta yun sa inyo, ma'am, right? Okay. Ang tanong ko, why why didn't you consider running for vice mayor and, making your life easier?
Miss Karen, I believe I deserve to have to run as mayor for the second time. And naniniwala pa rin ako sa kasabihan na yung lagi niya sinasabi na nasasangla daw yung laway niya. Kung ano yung binitawan niya, yun ang paninindigan niya. Hanggang dun sa moment na yon, naniniwala ako na hindi niya gagawin yun kahit sinabi niya na baka magbago pa ang isip niya. Kasi yun ang pinangahawakan, hindi lang ako, hindi lang ng mga kapartido ko, pero lahat ng mga taga Maynila. In fact, marami talaga ang nasaktan with this move. Maraming nagkawatak-watak. Parang hindi yata niya naisip yon. Hindi ako nagsalita. Then I just told him, tatakbo ako. Ang sagot lang niya sa akin ay ganun ba ate? Good luck. Sabi ko, good luck din po sa inyo. Yun lang po.
That's how you parted.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Then he hugged my husband and then niyakap din niya ako. And that was the last time we talked. So, hindi rin po totoo na hindi kami nag-uusap. Sinabi rin niya to na ginost ko siya. Hindi ho totoo yan. In fact, araw-araw po kami nagte-text sa isa't isa. Mabuti na lang hindi
Are you kidding? So after that meeting in Manila Hotel, you were texting each other every day? Okay.
No.
Okay.
In one, I think in one interview, he mentioned na I was already ghosting him for a year. So sabi ko, what? Sabi kong ganon. So sabi ko, buti na lang lahat ng mga messages niya hanggang ngayon nasa akin. Yung usapan namin, halos everyday yon.
Okay.
Every Thursday nagkikita kami before. So
Is that right? After he lost for the presidency, you would still see each other every Thursday.
every Thursday.
But during the time that you saw each other every week, you never felt that he may be interested to run again?
No, not until probably mid of last year.
You felt it.
Medyo meron na siya pong paramdam. But then, sabi nga ng mga kasamahan ko, hindi, baka, kasi baka he's aiming for another senatorial seat, etc., etc. So, ilang beses di kami nag-usap. Last December, during our Christmas party, kasama namin siya. Sinabi niya sa party na hindi siya tatakbo. And he always tells me, ate, do not listen to the noise. Yun ang lagi niya sinasabi. Sabi ko nga, don't worry, sabi kong ganon. I'm not into social media. Kaya hindi ho ako nakikinig. Not until you tell me in front of my face, wala ho kayong maririnig sa akin.
Okay. Well, ma'am, we don't have enough time but to end this. So you have made two major issues. One, you've made it clear, betrayal. He did not keep his word. Those are very clear points that you made. But the last one, why would Honey Lacuna be better for Manila instead of an Isko Moreno coming back? But mas makabubuti sa lungsod ng Maynila na kayo ang piliin kesa pabalikin po si Isko Moreno? Go ahead, ma'am.
Mas maganda po na piliin si Honey Lacuna dahil ako po naniniwala sa isang good governance. Kapag maayos po ang pagpapatakbo natin, episyente po tayo sa pagpapatakbo natin, sa lahat ng mga programa, hindi po tayo magkakamali. Dapat alam natin ang mga prioridad natin. Hindi lang po pagpapapogi ito po isang tunay at totoo na serbisyo sa tao.
On that note, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Manila Mayor